for us here, the only way to move on from all the big Bethesda news is to check in on one of the absolute biggest games coming in 2018. How about that introduction? Call of Duty Black Ops 4, and I'm here with Lord Vondahar and Dan Bunting from Treyarch to talk about your game. So you guys had a big event a couple weeks ago, revealed a lot about Black Ops 4, but the good news is fans here at E3, they're going to get to go hands-on, right?
That's right. Hands-on on the show floor. We're going to have mini stations, going to get players in. We have a new map that we're showing on the show floor.
Oh, cool.
And so hopefully the fans who've been following along so far will get to actually get their hands on it for the first time.
What can you tell us about the new map?
Man, where to start? You know, you want to talk about the setup of that thing, or how gorgeous it is right
it's called
now?
Frequency.
Okay.
It's a map that's it's really designed for that fast, frenetic gameplay that's really tight, that kind of like really fast-paced action that people know and love. It's set in Hunan province in a sort of Chinese kind of listening post, and very kind of exotic location in the remote mountains there. It's fun.
Massive head-to-head collision everywhere, just like you'd expect from us.
Well, this is going to be a good battle test to have tens of thousands of gamers grinding on this thing, which was great. And we can't wait to see it. But you guys had such a huge press conference a few weeks ago. I'm revealing so many aspects of the game. Zombies, I know I'm doing a panel later this week talking about zombies. You've got all those campaigns. Of course, you know, lots of interesting stuff with the specialists and the solo missions. And I wanted to ask a bit more about that, because coming out of the briefing, I think a lot of people were asking me, what can you tell us about those sort of, you know, missions for the specialists? So what more can you tell us about what that experience is going to be like for sort of some of the story around the specialists?
Yeah, so it's designed around our the fiction, which is grounded in our multiplayer universe this time around, and that's set in the years between Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3. So it gives a little bit of a setup for who the specialists are, why they're here, who they're fighting for, how they're connected to one another. And it gives players a chance to really kind of master each specialist for their abilities and their unique powers and their capabilities.
The little mini missions almost.
Yeah, little missions that just help you kind of get to know the specialist better and master the gameplay.
Take him into MP. Now,
Right.
Vaughn, you go dark for a while. People don't know what you're working on. The Twitter's blacked out. Now we know why.
I have to do it. Exactly. I have to do it because all the rumors that spread around, and I'm like, just too much temptation to spill the beans on
this thing.
Well, any of it really, right? So
where are you focusing your time?
Yeah, so I set up and spent the first major part of the project sort of getting the studio design department set, and then spent a lot of time on multiplayer until we established that kind of core, and now I'm almost exclusively Blackout. You know, but there's always things to do.
Things to do.
It's all part of the team.
It's not, it's a team effort. It's not just one thing.
So, and Blackout, I know you haven't shared a lot beyond the reveal. I don't think you're not showing any more Blackout here at E3, right?
I have a worldwide exclusive for you.
Okay.
No, I don't.
All right. Let's say drop it right here, live gameplay.
I've been waiting to drop that line all day.
But so you're not sharing any more about Blackout really at E3, right?
No, I mean we're not specifically about Blackout.
Okay, cool.
You know, but we are talking about sort of the impact Blackout's had on the game in terms of the weapon system in particular.
But still, but we're not seeing it. Any player count? Not talking about yet.
Not showing any of the details yet because we really want.
Like today, you saved the best for last.
Yeah, it is the biggest, most ambitious thing that we've ever undertaken at Treyarch, and it's you know, we're a studio that really builds a lot of our game around social connections and social gameplay experiences, and that's just like we're going all in on that this game, and that's this is something that's very, very big, very ambitious, and it's bigger than anything we've ever done. And there is some little thing that that changes kind of how we design weapons in this game, which I don't know if you want to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, if we're ready to talk about that, so you know, there is this, you know, when you have a world that large, and fans, you're really funny trying to sort out exactly how large it is. You're almost correct, by the way. I'm not going to tell you which guy's almost correct. When you have a world, you have longer range engagements. I mean, you guys, everybody knows Call of Duty for that kind of shorter, kind of paced engagement. So we had to really take a look at the weapon system to support longer range engagements. So thanks to Trevor Walker and many hardworking folks at the studio, we have actually completely changed sort of the ballistics system that the game uses. So. Historically, you know, at the risk of getting too nerdy, it's a hit scan game. Bullets fire, they go straight, they go forever, and then the damage drops off in kind of core increments. So what the ballistic system does is allows us to actually do simulation of ballistics where bullets actually fall off. So over long ranges, you're not going to be able to tag somebody. You're going to have to aim high. and sort of compensate for that. And where we are with this right now is a good place for Call of Duty. So the weapons kind of do the damage in the segments or ranges that you'd expect them to do, including beyond this certain range. But at a certain point, you're just not going to be able to hit that guy unless you compensate for that. So that's a completely different take on how you think about ballistics and how you think about weapon simulation. So a lot of work has gone into the weapon system, and not just on ballistics, but in terms of the totality of sort of what you do. So, but
really,
you're not doing ballistics unless you do something as large as Blackout.
It's just kind of one story that we have overhauled the entire weapon system because that is the core of our game, and that's what people, love and know the most about Call of Duty as a gameplay experience. And we've essentially rebuilt the weapon systems from the ground up. We've got, we talked about predictive recoil, something that is a new system. We've talked about how all the animations and effects have been completely overhauled. Yeah. Now we're talking about having ballistic systems in the game as well. And it's really like we've built this because we want to make that core gameplay loop as tight as it can possibly be and as rewarding as it can possibly be, and make sure that players have a satisfying road to mastery of all of those mechanics.
It's the rewarding bit that was really important to us. One of our very simple game pillars that we use. And when you play, everything you do has to have that kind of high level of rewarding polish, right? From how you reload, the uniqueness of those animations, the uniqueness of the attachments available to weapons. So the weapons system and the pillar rewarding are two things that go very hand to hand. So it's not just a thing, right? It's the totality of everything that you do with the gameplay of that, but then also what features you decide to tackle as a studio.
So much going into this. I can't wait to see more on Blackout. And final question for you guys. I know you started talking some remasters of some maps, right? We're going to be getting some maps back.
Just Thursday, we went on and did a live stream from Treyarch. We've talked about 4 fan favorite remasters.
Jungle.
Let's start with Jungle.
Yeah.
Jungle was a Black Ops 1 map. I'll give you a little detail. Black Ops 1 map that was set in the jungles of Vietnam, and it was a map that had a lot of foliage, a lot of terrain, a lot of height variation, a lot of kind of fluid flow control through the map, and players loved it. And we haven't touched that map in so many years. I think it's going to be really exciting to bring it back. Next up, we have Summit, which is another one of our kind of really big fan favorite maps from Black Ops 1. You want to do the next one?
I like to do Slums and the one after that. So
do it.
What do you got? Quick.
Yeah, Slums and Firing Range are the two that are after that, and these are fairly competitive maps. We learned a lot about parallel pathing in both these maps. It was sort of when we really came into our own as a group of people, sort of what it means to make a sort of Black Ops Call of Duty map, right? So those two are super important to us. And it's fun to see them in this game too. And
you guys have an amazing legacy with Black Ops. We can't wait to play in October. And
this game celebrates that legacy, and you're all going to have a great time with it.
Well, these guys, super passionate. I know you're going to innovate in a crazy way. Blackout, I can't wait to hear more.
Oh, I can't wait to tell you.
Lord Vaughn,
nobody wants to tell you more than me.
I'm so glad we're wrapping up day 1 with you guys.